Oh, straight right. Oh, knee hurt him. Oh, was that a legal kick? Oh. Oh. Oh, he's hurt. Aldo looking for the finish. Zahabi's throwing back, though. All right, what's going on, everybody? So UFC 315 just finished, and I actually had very low expectations for this card, and actually ended up being pretty decent. So there definitely was some boring fights, but there were some entertaining ones too. So I'm going to be talking about all that. I'll be going through all the fights and giving my instant reaction to them. Real quick, before I get into the video, 97% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like UFC content, pro boxing content, or influencer boxing content, I post 2 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. Alright, so the first fight that I'm going to be talking about is Benoit St. Denis versus Prepelic, something like that. Well, this fight, I already had a negative impression going into this event, like I already explained to you guys. So this fight at the beginning was very concerning. I was like, no way that they're going to have this type of energy in this first fight, because I didn't think Benoit St. Denis would be that type of fighter. But in round one, Benoit St. Denis really just backpacked and stalled all rounds. It was pretty brutal. You gotta be fucking kidding me. The first fight of the card and we're already using the strat. We're already backpacking in the first fucking fight. Dude, the last two are gonna be just as bad. Oh my god, this is gonna be the worst card ever. So Benoit St. Denis really proved me wrong by saying he didn't want to go for a finish, because in round two he had Prepelic against the cage and started landing excessive elbows in the clinch. He probably landed around 10. It was very brutal. And then he went for a takedown, which initially I was like, no way. There's no way he's about to stall after having him hurt. But he proved me wrong by going for the finish and getting the submission in round two. No way. No. You had him for the finish. Don't you dare. You had him hurt against the cage and you're still doing this? Oh, okay. You're going for a finish. There you go. Jesus. You had to have the guy's heart basically not beating to go for the finish. Alright, next fight. Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Now, this fight was pretty simple, pretty basic. It was just a striking matchup. Nothing really special happened. Devin Haney, Natalia Silva used her footwork to stay out of range for the most part and was using counter shots. Was actually throwing more than Devin Haney, so maybe I'm giving Devin Haney a bit too much credit here. But she was landing some sharp counter punches, and she busted up Grasso pretty good. It's too late to talk about women's MMA when I have to talk about the co-main, so that's all I have to say about that. Next fight, Jose Aldo versus Zahabi. Now, this was a pretty good fight. This was a very good fight. Shout out Zahabi. I was going to say, this gave me vibes like Aldo was about to get grappled. Aldo has elite takedown defense, don't get me wrong, but Zahabi's a jiu-jitsu fighter, so I had a little bit of nerves going into it. It's like, oh wow, what if Jose Aldo's last fight is a snooze fest? But it wasn't. Shout out to Zahabi for striking with him the entire time when he realistically didn't need to. There was definitely times where he tried to get Aldo down, but Aldo, once again, has elite takedown defense. But Zahabi made it a war, so respect to him. Because Aldo started on smoke in round one. He was doing very good pressuring Zahabi back against the cage, working his body, and then going upstairs with shots. Jose Aldo was very accurate in his fight. And in round two, he slowed down a bit, but eventually he found his groove again. Jose Aldo was in a flow in this fight. He was moving his head well. He was timing well. His gas tank was just a bit questionable, which kind of got into the play later in the fight, because Zahabi was just trying to pressure since he saw that Aldo was slowing down as the fight went on. And then in round three, Jose Aldo hurts Zahabi bad and ends up not being able to get the finish just because how exhausted he was. Oh, straight right. Oh, knee hurt him. Oh, was that a legal kick? Oh, he's hurt. Aldo looking for the finish. Zahabi's throwing back though. Then Zahabi was unfortunately able to take Aldo down and landed about 2 minutes of brutal ground and pound, but Aldo was able to get to the final buzzer. They gave this fight to Zahabi. I thought Aldo won this fight. I can't believe it, dude. In rounds 1 and 2, I know they said round 3 was Zahabi's. I can believe that. Even though he got dropped, it's very weird. Very weird. even the commentary is like, oh, this could be a 10-8 round in round 3. I don't think it could be 10-8 if you get knocked down. I could be mistaken, but I really don't think that's the case. I don't understand how you can have success in the last 2 minutes of the fight. Yeah, he was dominant in that last 2 minutes. But before that, he got knocked down. They said round 2 was close, but I gave it to Aldo personally, and I also gave him round 1. So in his retirement fight, you could even see Aldo's reaction. He was just heartbroken by not getting the decision. Because I feel like he earned it. I feel like he won the fight. I could be wrong. Maybe I have to rewatch it back. But round 2 was close. And round 3 was definitely close. But at the same time, Zahabi got knocked down. So I really don't understand it. Aldo retired. He had a legendary career. He was absolutely unstoppable until the Conor McGregor fight. He was also probably one of the better older fighters in the UFC for a long time. He's like 40 or 40-something years old, and he's still very good. It's just his gas tank isn't there anymore. He said he isn't able to weight cut because he missed weight before this fight. So respect to Jose Aldo for an amazing career. I know there's rumors about him going to Misfits. I'm not sure if I want to see that, but if it's for the right fight, I don't see why not. Because for the most part, he wasn't even using his low kick in his fight. He was just boxing, so maybe him boxing at a heavier weight is his compromise for still fighting. We'll see. Now for the co-main event. Can you believe this is the co-main event and the title fight in the women's division? Holy moly. It is Shevchenko versus Fiorot. Now, there was a couple moments in this fight. In round 1, Shevchenko hurt Fiorot's nose, or whatever her name is. It's too late for a name like that. Then, instead of applying that pressure after hurting her nose, she took her down, held her there, stalled, Shevchenko's special. And then, actually, Fiorot starts grappling back and getting Shevchenko down and starts stalling back. So, absolutely legendary. We have a one-on-one stalling competition in the women's division. Amazing co-main event title fight that right in front of our eyes that we're seeing at the moment. Yeah, they were having a stalling competition. Very entertaining watch, I would say myself. And the frustrating thing, right? We see these things with Shevchenko. She has power for her as a woman in her division, all of that. She has power. She has good kicks. She landed a very nice spinning back kick at one point. They showed the replay of it. It almost landed right on the chin. But she just chooses to fight awfully and boring. And unfortunately, Fiorot was bringing the same energy because it was a stall competition. And then out of nowhere, Shevchenko knocked down Fiorot in round 4 with a lead right hand. Oh! That came out of nowhere. Besides those 2 moments in the fight, this was a very boring co-main event, but it was kind of predicted. The main event actually ended up surprising me, which I'll get to in a second. But as in what's going on next for Shevchenko, I don't really care, to be honest. It's just kind of dead. I don't really know what could be next for her. I don't know. But I guess we'll see. Yay. For the main event, this was actually very surprising. I thought Bilal was bullshitting about wanting to strike basically the entire time. And respect to Bilal Muhammad, I'll say it right now, respect to him. He went in there to strike. He just got fucked up. He did, man. He really wanted to prove something to the fans in this fight. He just doesn't got it. You stall for a reason, dog, and there's a reason why you stalled at the end of the fight. This is the thing. I give you credit, and I got to take away, because at the end of the fight, you tried the ground and pound, but for the most part, he was just trying to survive, and he ended up stalling anyways. But before we get to the later rounds, let's talk about the beginning round. So in round 1, it was obvious. Bilal didn't even shoot for any takedowns. He didn't even really feint for takedowns in round 1. He was just working his jab. And Bilal does have fast hands, and he's long. And he was holding his own in this fight. It just wasn't even enough, and by the end, he was getting fucked up because JDM was outboxing him. He would land body shots. He would slip off Bilal's punches. He would land his own. He landed a straight left hand on Bilal probably 20-plus times in this fight. He was timing the straights very well, which ended up hurting Bilal later on in the fight. Bilal really only did good in round 3 with the striking, but I'm pretty sure JDM could have even still had that round because it was just a speed difference, really. Bilal Muhammad does have fast hands, but not at the same time. Like, it's very weird. Like, JDM was faster, you know what I mean? But Bilal was fast. That's probably what it was. Bilal was pretty fast. That's why he was able to hold his own, but he has no power. And he has a very good chin. Bilal has a very good chin because he was taking a lot of shots at JDM for a very long time. And in round 4, Bilal was stalling a bit, which was dumb because he was down. It doesn't really make sense at all. Then round 5, obviously Bilal would have to go for it, and for the most part, he really didn't. Especially in the final 10 seconds, he really put his hands down and kind of conceded defeat. You don't love seeing that, but in the round 5, he was getting beat up badly, dude. JDM was fucking him up bad against the cage. I think he hurt him with the straight left hand that I was talking about earlier. He landed a knee. He landed all of this, and Bilal was able to stay on his feet. So Bilal has a very good chin. He's just not a great striker. And here's the thing. I will give him credit, but it kind of gives off a slight insecurity that he wanted to prove so badly that he could strike with somebody to the point where he loses the fight and then he stalls in the last 2 rounds. Not the entire time, but for the most part, a little bit of stalling. But he needed to win those rounds, you know what I mean? That's why I don't understand it. So, I'm excited. JDM was very entertaining in this fight. He was taunting Bilal whenever he missed. He had that energy. He brought the fight. In round 5, he was obviously up in the fight. Fuck the person going by my house at this time. It's like 1 a.m. Fucking loser. Like I'm not up at 1 a.m. I contradicted myself. But in round 5, JDM didn't need to go for the finish, but he wanted to. Those are the fucking champions we need in the UFC, baby. That's why I'm gassed about this. JDM is a warrior, and Bilal, in the final moments when it came down to it, there was a couple times where he exchanged with JDM against Cage, don't get me wrong, but when it came down to it, he didn't want to. And that's why I don't need Bilal as a champion. JDM just saved welterweight, baby. Now, we may get Islam versus JDM, which, to be honest, Islam is going to take that fairly easily. But who knows, man? I said Bilal was going to out-grapple JDM very easily, and he was able to stuff Bilal's takedowns. So, hey, man, maybe, just maybe, I don't feel great about it, but JDM could all of a sudden break out as this huge star in the UFC if he beats Islam. And if Islam gets the welterweight belt, he's all of a sudden one of the greatest of all time. And JDM isn't the greatest champion ever, but it's still going to be credible. So, yeah, man, that fight is cool. I can't wait for that. I wonder when they're going to run that. I wonder if that's going to be somewhat soon. We'll see what... JDM's calling the shot. He's the champion. So if he wants to wait a little bit, he probably can. I'm very excited for that fight. But once again, credit to Bilal for striking and making it not a boring fight. This was a very good fight. But he probably should have if he won. And yeah, when it came down to it, he didn't want to trade. So I'm glad that the Warrior's the champion. And I hope Bilal has a great career. I just hope he's not in the main event ever again. No offense, but I'm sure he's a great dude. Just speaking from a fan's perspective, of course. So yeah, man, that was UFC 315. Honestly, a pretty decent card. There was a couple of fights that dragged it down. Jose Aldo not getting the decision didn't make me that happy. But overall, the main event was a good fight. And that was my main worry. I didn't want to be here at 2 a.m. complaining about the main event. You could probably debate that I'm still complaining about some of the fights. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy about this event. It could have been a lot worse because on paper, I think it looked awful. But it wasn't awful, so that's good. Anyways, guys, thank you for popping out to the video, especially if it's late for you guys. It definitely is late for me. It's 2:06 for me. Probably going to be uploaded by 2:33 a.m. So shout out to you guys if you're popping out to this video. I really appreciate all of you. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment your thoughts, because all of that still helps me because I'm still a small channel trying to grow. So I appreciate every single one of you that's engaging with my content. Much appreciated. If you guys want to follow any of my socials, they're down in the description. I got to rush this video out for you guys, so I'm not going to put it up on the screen. But if you want to follow me, go ahead. It will be down in the description. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.